Okay, we are talking about
Pezain.
Yeah, is the Pevav.
Pevav. Okay.
Pevav, Zohar Pevav. You're basically talking about there's a very interesting Zohar that talks about how a person should get married to a wife, Jewish wife, and what kind of benefits he gets by that, because it says when he's married, the Shekhinah benefits the Shekhinah, and also he gets all the Shefa from Shekhinah. So getting married to a Jewish woman is extremely important. And it says, there was a Hekdomah that Rabbi Machtov said from here, that he says that Oti azavu makor ma'im chayim, lachsov lahem be'orot nishbarim. He says that the person, they abandoned the Be'er Ma'im Chaim, which refers to Shekhinah, and they went and they basically went ahead and they used the Ma'im from the Borot Nishmarim. Borot Nishmarim referring that going and marrying with the people, Goyot, that which they don't have the bracha from them. So somebody gets married with a Goya, maybe he might get financially more secure, right? But there's no bracha from this financial security.
That would be even temporary.
Even if it's not going to be temporary, but right. they won't have Olam Haba.
Right.
And basically, it's the Amari Gemara that says that a person marries a Goya or a Sibili Goya, in the end, eventually, after 120 years, if he doesn't do a teshuvah, they say, Kol Yisrael Chek Olam Haba. Every Jewish person has a Chek Olam Haba. It says the person who goes to Olam Haba, but there's something lingering with this soul. And the soul is like a kelev. It's like some kind of a kelev. This is tum'ah. That they say that, around that, the Sari said that there are three different tum'ah, three different animals that they have a lot of tum'ah. One is kelev, a dog. One is the chazir, which is pig, and one is akhbar, which is mouse. And it says that kelev is, even though kelev is very good for a guardian, like somebody has a Chas v'Shalom lives nearby the village, is he has to have a dog, which is for a shemirah, or somebody Chas v'Shalom is blind, he's like a watchdog, so walking around. But in general, the dog are impure. But as far as the impurity goes, the impurity also has something to do with the spiritual level. So that's why the Gemara says if somebody goes married with a Goya, Chas v'Shalom, or a Seder Goya, when he doesn't get married, if they don't do teshuvah, this kelev is going to be there. And that's why Ben Ish Chai, they have like a tikkun for Goya, and which brings down from the Arizal, that they say the person should fast, they should put a chain on him, kevel, put a kevel means a chain, kevel, the same otio as kelev, right? So when he puts the chain on himself and fast to do a couple of few days and give the pidyon, right? Then it would cause that kelev ruchani goes away from him. Otherwise, Chas v'Shalom, if somebody doesn't do a teshuvah, right? The Yom Kippur, the Gemara says there are certain things Yom Kippur with kaper. If a person if a person does teshuvah on like Mitzvot Aser, right away his abonot gets with kaper right away, same day. Like just say a person didn't put on tefillin all his life, right? Now he decides to do teshuvah today, right? He puts on tefillin, right away, like that day from now on, HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgives the sin of that he was not wearing it. I see that the same day. On the Yom Kippur, all the Mitzvot Aseh that do not have the punishment of karet, right, that's being cut off from the Jewish people, is being forgiven. Then there are certain avonot that Yom Kippur just helps a bit, right? But the Yisurim, all the Yisurim that he has to go through in order what? To to forgive, that Hashem forgive the person. And for the Goya, the Arizal says very difficult, hard thing. Gemara says hard thing about it. And here we're gonna read what does it happen if somebody goes and sleeps with the Goya, right? So here we go. So here it says, right in the middle of the Pezain, Amud Aleph, Pezain from top, it says, Uman Meshaki Berishim Kadisha, Misha Mu'el Berishim Shel Berit HaGodesh, somebody that comes and Meshaker. Meshaker means goes and Boged, that he basically, he has a blessing, he has a big matana from Hakadosh Baruch Hu, who gives every Jewish single soul a brit. Brit is talking about the ever, it's talking about the sexual organ of a man, that he gives, Hashem gives it to him in order to utilize it for the mitzvah of Puruhu, that have become, have children from it, and Chas v'Shalom, he go and uses this spirit and go and establish Goyot, right? But who sitra back, whom like the Misad Hahu. What happened at Barminon, when he does it, he goes to the Sitra Akhra. He cleaves to the Sitra Akhra. The Hinu, the Borod Ishpan, lo Yechilu Hamay, right? Then he goes and attaches himself to the other portion, another side. What side is we are talking about? The side of the Sitra Akhra, and the Sitra Akhra is talking about the side that there is no, there's Kuchot mi Sitra Akhra from what we call Samech Mem, which means from the other side that is not holy, the other side of the holiness, which is basically we try to get away from. ולא עלי לתמון, אין הברכות נכנסו לשום כלל. So when a person marries, goes and even have one time in sexual intimacy with the Goya, right? What happens then? There is no bracha come from this intimacy, and there's going to be his neshama becomes the book, cleaves to that side. Who the Zohar and now what happens if somebody keeps his brit and does not have a sexual intimacy with Goyot, but the other way goes get married with goes through the whole process of marriage, the right girl, right? Of course, person wants to get married, right? A person has to be matun. That's because always says when the Chachamim wanted to make a decision to give a Pesach halacha, right? You have to be matun. You have to be very patiently check all the angles before you get married, right? It's very important. So it's very important to get married to the right Jewish girl, so you don't have problem later on. Once you make that decision, then you get married to that girl. Then look at what it says, the Zohar says. Once a person gets married to it and uses Yishmor el-Birid, וזאכל השתקיה, מהות נביאה דנחל מעלמא דעתה, הוא זוכה להשחית מאות הנבואה שנחל בעולם הבא. So he gets extremely a spiritual benefit from while he's living, while he's alive, from Olam Haba, right? And usually the shefa usually come from what? The person usually people get shefa, the bracha, from where? From malchut, right? But it's not, if somebody keeps his brit, right? He doesn't go, make sure that he can go, doesn't do chas v'shalom shifazer levatara, which is masturbation, chas v'shalom, or sleeping with the goyot, right? And making sure that they say it's extremely beneficial. Somebody goes to mikveh all the time, so this thing doesn't happen to him, right? Then he's gonna get, once he gets married to a Jewish woman, right, a proper one, he gets a shefa from the Olam Bina, not malchut, but bina, which is much higher. וזכר להתמלא ההוא באר אילה, וזוכר שהתמלא הבאר ההוא עליונו, זאת אומרת, בזכותו להתמלאות המלאכות כשפע מן הבינה. And not only that, it causes also not only a person when he gets married, gets a bracha from the Olam Bina, but it also causes that the Olam Malchut, which is lower Olam, right, that we usually are relate ourselves to, gets also filled with the shefa of the Olam Bina, which means indirectly or directly, which will, once he gets married to a woman, Jewish woman, he gets a bracha from the Olam Bina, and also Olam Malchut, which is we are as the what's the
Rabbi Baruch Blum.
Rabbi Baruch Blum, he mentioned that the whole concept of learning Torah of the Chasod is to metaken Shekhinah, right? So this is another aspect of it. When a person gets married to a Jewish woman, right, the bracha that he gets himself from the Olam Bina is not just him, but also the Olam Malchut gets it. So it's a tikkun for also for Olam Malchut, but getting married to a Jewish woman, and the whole Olamut, and then והזהו שמתמלא ההוא בהליון, בזכותו נתמלאות המלכות בשפע מן העולם הבינה, לנגדה ברכיים לאלה ותתר, כדי להמשיך ברכות למעלה ולמטה. דהנו דחו עולמות. And then once the Malchut gets this brachot, right, once we do the Tikkun Shekhinah, right, which is one is learning Torah, one is saying after Chasod, doing certain Mesud Nefesh in Avodat Hashem, right? This all causes that the Tikkun Shekhinah. The other aspect that he's talking about here is basically if a person gets married to a Jewish girl. The Jewish girl have a Shemirat Berit, right? It's not just here. Zohar is only talking about marrying Goya, right? But we're also talking about the other aspect. Also is a person should be very careful. Do not eat foods that are causing the Chas v'Shalom has a shivazah levatala, or goes around looking at the provocative pictures and causing not to have shivazah levatala. All these things are dangerous, but if he keeps it all these things, all these things b'kedusha tahara, right? Then what happens eventually? The big benefit comes for him from Olam Bina and also comes to the Malchut, and then from Malchut there is once the Malchut gets to Shefa, right? Then this Shefa comes to the other Olamot Elyonim, Elyon Tachtonim, which means all these Olamot Shamayim, right? They get Bracha, and also Olamot Tachtonim, which is ourselves this world. Of the sun, you see there's a shefa bracha all over, right? Unfortunately, the person that he does the thing in this world and next world, and so a person becomes that person becomes malchut gan raveh. Gan raveh means a garden that saturates all the places surrounding of it, right? ומוסעים מים שהוא היסוד הזה, אשר לא יכוזו ממנו, שמרבים שפע מהבינה. So he gets there is a water, the spiritual water that comes to the Yesod Dezah. Yesod Dezah is referring to the most important fundamental part of the Sephirah of the Zerampin, right? Which is, he gets it from Malchut, and then which is he gets it from the Olam Yesod, the Zerampin gets it from the Bina. So all these places get saturated spiritually by somebody just getting married to a Jewish woman, right? And then he said, Mamshich, why the man the Meshake B'Shimon Hadisha? Woe to the person that he goes and Chas Shalom. It's like a treason, like somebody Chas Shalom goes like a boged, somebody that goes and to be like a traitor that goes. Hashem gave him big matana to him, right? And in Chas v'Shalom, he doesn't use his spirituality, this organ, sexual organ, to utilize it for spirituality and to bring brachot all over the world, and he goes and he becomes a boged. Boged is like a traitor, and he goes and for his own sexual pleasure, right? For ta'avud, he goes with marrying with the people out of the Am Israel, right? Because Am Israel Chai, the Jewish nation, survive and thrive. Why they are thriving? Because we are ourselves. We don't mix with the goyim. We are not supposed to, because that's a whole concept. That we are like a tree of Geffen, right? That we do not, it does not mix with anything, and it just mix with itself. That's how it is. All the Chazal, they have given another mashal for Klal Israel. We are like a Yonah, that Yonah never goes with another bird except his own mate, right? So we have to be very careful, right? That we should be only marry into our own people, and this is going to be a lot of brachot. So, but if somebody Barminon does that, the who mishakir b'shma ilaah ki hu mo'il b'shem ha'elyon, he is traitor to the Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shemo'el be'ima ilaah, and not only that, he causes churban, he causes a lot of spiritual destruction from his part. Why? And a person might ask, who am I? I'm only one person. Why should I cause destruction? So that's what the Chazal said. Hakadosh Baruch Hu created every person. Every person should think he is Olam Maleh, and because of me, the whole world is being created, right? And a person always should think that if I do one better good deed, right, I can save the whole world. So a person should never think of himself as, who am I? If I'm going to sleep and I go here, nothing is going to happen. Right. But not only it happened, he caused his own spiritual destruction, but also it causes Churbanot in Olamat Elyon, which is referring here to Olam Bina. This is Gurem, the Hashpia, Shef Habina, and Achisonim. So the Shefa that's supposed to come, if he does that, what is the consequence of somebody sleeping around with Goyot or marrying to them, right? It causes the Shefa goes to the Chisonim, which means the other side, right? The other side of the spirituality, right? The Chafeshom don't say Goyim are bad people, but they are spirituality that Hashem gave to us, it has not given to them. And we have to basically keep it on to ourselves. Made into our own people. And then it causes not only that, the other way around, that if a person marries a Jewish person, Jewish woman, causes that Shekhinah gets also benefit, right? By not marrying to a Jewish person, marrying to a Goya, causes the Shefa that Shekhinah is supposed to receive from the Olam Bina, he doesn't receive it. The Shekhinah doesn't receive it. So it's another problem that way. Ella de'ona besed lo itbarecha ve'garin aleh ve'gorim alav ki hosi shemra betzura Israel. So now here, there's an interesting concept that the Zohar brings, which is very fascinating. It says the concept that a person marries to a Jewish girl, right? If for some reason the guy doesn't like her, and it comes and says, being Shemra, right? He comes and says that his wife was not Betula, right? And it was, if she was Betula, Chachamim, they find that person, right? So he says, it's as if somebody gets married with Goya, right? He's doing Hosi Shemra al Israel. And not only Betula Israel, but that's Betula Israel is talking about here. הידי שעוזב בת ישראל, הקדושה, והולך ומדבר בבד נכר. That he causes, by what is Hosi Shemra, one in the secular way of looking at it is talking about somebody married to a Jewish woman, and this Jewish woman is what? Is Betula, and he says he's not Betula.
Right.
But here is referring to somebody that he could have married to a Jewish girl, right? He went around and started with Goya, right?
Right.
He is like he's bringing Moshe Shemra and Bad Israel. In a spiritual sense.
Right.
In a spiritual sense. Betula Israel Daiga, and he's talking about Betula Israel, and in the Shehu HaShekhinah, he said in a spiritual sense also, Betula Israel is another nickname, right, for Shekhinah. But why is it a nickname for that? The free Shehu Chaviva Lebala said it was Tamid Kala Shehi Betula, and the Shekhinah is a spiritual, very high, very big spiritual neshama. It's like as if whenever there's a yichud, there's a unification between the Rampin and Shekhinah, right? The Rampin almost treats the Shekhinah as if the first time of spiritual intimacy, right? So it's considered like a betula, right? So if a person doesn't goes and marry Goya, right? He is basically Mosi Shemra al Benod Israel, right? Which means he brings the blemish on the Klal Israel. More Rabbi Shimon be'atre, right? וביאור רבי שמעון במקומו כי כל מה שנעשו באישה התחתונה רומז הוא לאישה העליונה שהוא שחרר בדוגמה. So he said, whatever a person does with the isha tachtona, which is like talking about the human Jewish girl, right? If the way you treat her is the way is you're treating with the isha eliona. So isha tachtona is referring to Jewish girl. Isha eliona refers to Shekhinah. So if somebody goes and sleep around with the goyot or Chafeshon married to them, right? He causes this devastation. The spiritual devastation is causing to those olamot. Not only he is self-suiciding, some kind of a spiritual suicide, somebody does that, right? He can become correct, but also he's causing another churban, another destruction in Shemayim by God doing this, because Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave us the nishamot, and this nishamot we have to know how to use them. There is a story that Harav Ben David said, which is I heard from him, I mentioned to you before. He said, every neshama that we have is comparable to a very, very huge jumbo jet, a very, very big airplane, right? And with this airplane, a person, if he is able to utilize this airplane, he can go roar to the skies with this airplane. Right. And so what if that person, instead of utilizing that airplane that can go up and soar in Shemayim to the heaven, what does he do instead of doing that? He goes in and he plants vegetation in the airplane. Instead of using it and how ridiculous it sounds, you use that airplane, you can use it to go so much how you could fly in Shemayim with it, and you're just making it like planting vegetation, which is like eggplant, making tomatoes and this kind of thing. So this was exactly the same thing. If Chas v'Shalom, somebody that has his neshama, instead of doing it and goes married into the goyot or a sibaram with goyot, right? And just he wants to fulfill his sexual lust, which is temporary, right? Then he causes all this spiritual devastation to him and Olamot Shel Elyon. That's what the Zohar says. It's not just to himself, but he's causing that also in Shemayim, right? Mon de Shavet, Tischufe Milin, and in Titad, Rabita Nisha, some Alilot, the Barim Shel Alisha Hiroshina, so somebody Chafeshonam, he goes, we call it Alilot, it says, oh, you know what, my wife was not to love with me yesterday. So, is V'apech Ale Shumish, and because being Shemra, he says, derogatory names, and he slandered his own wife, right? Kemot de'apich le'elo, nechshava ki לעוון חמור כאילו עושה שמרה למעלה על שכינה כביכול. So he brought the שמרה, gossip on the Baruch Hu Chas Shalom, על שכינה. דכתיב, כי עושה שמרה על בתולת ישראל, סתם דין זה being a שמרה on the בתולת ישראל. והוא אמר רבי אבא, בעזה ביתה, כי אמר רבי חיה, אמר רבי יוסי, כמו שאמר רבי חיה בשם רבי יוסי, שכל ברכות של הקהל התחתונה היא לפי מה שמקבל הקהל העליונה. So it says, a virgin bride, Jewish bride, she gets all the brachot when he gets on the chuppah, he gets all the brachot from the Shekhinah al-Eliona, which is Tekon Shekhinah. Betula yarta sheva brachot. The Betula receives seven different brachot, right? But that's what we say, sheva brachot. So where is it coming from? Kala shehi betula, Yerusha beparechet b'sheva brachot, right? Did Barcha b'sheva. So one thing on the side note here also is very important for Benot Israel, right? To be very extremely careful that they wouldn't chas v'shalom fall, get seduced by the other man, because here is saying the brachot that comes when they go on the chuppah, right? It is for the girls that they are betula. When they are betula, which means they never had any sexual intimacy until they went on the chuppah, then they get the bracha from the Shekhinah, because Shekhinah is considered always as the betulat Israel. And there they get 7 brachot, right? And the 7 brachot, the girl also has to be very careful not to be chas v'shalom, had any kind of sexual encounter with any person before her marriage. Then she gets what? She gets same bracha that is from there. Kala shei betula, yoreshet baracha b'sheva brachot, v'itbarcha b'sheva. Ki mitbarechet b'sheva sefirot shel Shekhinah. So we have like every sefirah has 10 olamot, right? But the ones that the Musi are able to relate to, it's called Zayin Tachtonim, the seven sefirot in the bottom, which is called Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Nesachot, Yesod, Malchut. There are 7 of them. The person that gets married to a Jewish girl, she is Betula, right? She gets what? Sheva Barachot. It gets Barachot from all the 7 Barachot Tachtonim, right? Begin the Betula Yisrael, Yata Sheva Barachot, the fish בתולה ישראל שהוא השכינה יורשת ומקבלת 7 ברכות ב7 ספירות של אנפין, and Shekhinah gets it from where? From 7 brachot, it gets it from 7 sefirot of the Ampin, right? Which is the male spiritual counterpart of Shekhinah. ועלתה איכלה בת 7, על כן הוא נקרא בת 7, and here we're going to conclude with the last part of it, which is going to say, how about the other people that the women, their wives are a Gerusha or Almana? What kind of brachot they get? Zohar also expands on this and says, and they are Jewish, and he wants to get married. What are they going to get Sheva brachot or not? They said the Zohar says no, because they are not Betula, but they still get some kind of bracha. So what kind of bracha they get? But enter Acharaman bracha. The other kind of thing, maybe Almana is widow or Gerusha or somebody, a woman is divorcee, right? That they already were married once before, and they are remarrying again. So where would they get this bracha, right? Because there has to be already, once the person gets married, they get some kind of brachot. Yes. So where would this bracha come from? But because they are not similar to to Shekhinah, because Shekhinah is corresponding to a woman that is like Israel, is like Betula. Lachen en lahem sheh brachot, but they have 3 brachot. Where so Zohar it says, where are these getting these 3 brachot from? Right? It says bezuchuta de Boaz berut. So it's getting from Boaz berut. מהברכות של בועז ברut, כמו דנו אמר, ויאמרו כל העם אשר בשער הזקנים עדים. So it says the pasuk, the Chachamim, the pasuk says the people when they saw them getting married.